All right, so word has it that they are shutting down McDonald's in Chicago and making them, well, they're shutting down a bunch and making the rest 21 and up. Now, for those of you who don't live in what they would call urban areas or ghettos or the hood or anything like that, I'm explaining you from what's the word that people like to, a lived experience perspective of how bad this is. When I grew up, there was a McDonald's right across the street from the public library at the end of the block from my high school. And I would say my 10th grade year of high school, they moved it from the middle of the block about a half a mile up the road to the corner. Now, when I say middle of the block, I just mean like the midway point between 2 mile markers. So you have the freeway, and then another like mile, like half a mile down is where the McDonald's was before you got to the next main street. So it was like in the middle of like a stretch on a semi-main road. They moved it half a mile closer to the freeway, so it was on the corner, attached it to a gas station. That McDonald's has since been nicknamed the Murder Mac. Now, if you don't believe me, Google Murder Mac. Just Murder Mac. It's going to bring up a McDonald's that is part of a BP gas station on the corner of Joy Road in Southfield in Detroit, Michigan. I frequented that McDonald's before they moved it and after they moved it. Me and my brother was one of the first people to get breakfast sandwiches out of there. We was like day one, we've been there. So I say that to say that was in my high school years. I graduated in 1999. I am now 43 years old. It's still there. The Murder Mac survived 30 years. Because if it was when I was in high school, about 30. Oh, this is an impatient person behind me that don't see that the light is red. Don't worry about that. So, now it's green. So, it's been there since my high school days, and it still is. It could survive that. Being nicknamed the Murder Mac. Oh, and its nickname is earned. It's not called that for no reason. I don't remember how many people were killed there. Obviously, it was at least one. I think it was more than. But its nickname is not unjust. It's still there. So for them to be saying that you can't even go in if you under 21 is insane. That means that they just been straight wilding. And again, remember where I said I was from. This is in Detroit. You know, Chicago often tries to say that they on par with us. Again, Murder Mac, they put that there right. And again, fact check me. I graduated in 99. Fact check me. Joy Road in Southfield. That's where it is. It's attached to a BP gas station. It used to be up the street before that, and I believe its previous location is now a KFC, or at least it used to be. I don't know what it is now because it's rated out on that side of town anymore. But what I'm saying that to say, it takes so much to get to a point to where they don't even want to patronize you anymore unless you go through drive-thru or use the app, or they just flat out close it down. And my question is, how is this a systemic problem? Because I already know the people who just completely oblivious to accountability are going to jump back into, well, if there wasn't systems set up and put in place to make it so that we just don't know how to actually behave like civilized people and respect other people's property. I can't wait to hear all the explanations of how this is somehow the problem of whiteness and systemic racism. And not just the fact that people not raising their kids right, and therefore people don't want to deal with them anymore. Because I know people who own businesses. I know people who own them. I've known people who worked for personal private businesses before. I worked for private businesses. They said that it was so much fighting in there that they got to the point where they just didn't want to let people in there. That's too much. Can a fight break out every once in a while? I guess. Like I said, they said that the high school was like, I believe they said it was right across the street. So again, I get it, because we had the equivalent. We had, if you saw the cars that this was coming from, this is so embarrassing. We had, like I said, my high school was about a block off of the main road. Maybe two. I think it was only one. And our library was at the end of the street on the main road. And then our school was about a block into the neighborhood. Library was right up on the main road. McDonald's was right across the street. They closed it and moved it down the street, and it's been there ever since. And again, ain't like we was strangers to wilding out. That was the haven of the Joy Boys, and the Joy Boys was always fighting with the P-Rocks. So it's not like I've seen it. I've seen people getting jumped. It's happened in front of the McDonald's. I've seen it, but never to a degree that they just was like, you know what, we don't even want your money no more. But I can't wait for y'all. I can't wait for some of y'all to blame it on whiteness and systemic racism, because I know that's where y'all going, because that's the only thing you can fall back on. You can't ever fall back on the fact of just sometimes some people in our group just don't act right. It's always got to be the other group's fault, and I can't wait to hear it.